Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei's chemistry creates a stir. Audiences lose focus in every scene. Two names who have recently been hot topics in the drama world appear in the same frame again, and somehow, the atmosphere feels different than just any ordinary scene. Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei once again sparked a huge wave of reactions from just one brief glance captured on camera. There's no lengthy dialogue, no overly emotional outburst, but rather the silence between them that makes millions of viewers feel like they're witnessing something too real to be mere acting. The scene begins with a seemingly simple atmosphere, but that's where the trap lies. The camera slowly zooms in, capturing small details that are usually overlooked. The way their hands almost touch, the pause in their breath that feels longer than it should, and the look in their eyes that seems to hold another story behind the script they're playing. The audience begins to realize that this isn't just a moment in a drama, but one that leaves an emotional imprint. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere captured is no less captivating. The sudden pause and laughter, the unintentional nervous expressions, and the spontaneous reactions that make the surrounding crew pause for a moment. All of this then coalesced into an indescribable feeling, as if an invisible energy flowed between the two whenever they stood close together. Many fans then rewatched the scene over and over again, trying to capture any details they might have missed. Some focused on the way Zhang Linghe lowered her gaze for a moment before answering a line, while others noticed how Tian Xiwei held back a barely concealed smile. These small details became the most heated discussions on social media. Over time, the clip spread faster than anyone could have imagined. Within hours, various platforms were filled with reactions, analysis, and wild speculation from viewers who sensed there was something more behind their chemistry. Even people who were initially just passing by stopped to rewatch the scene. What was striking was not only the romantic scene that captured the attention, but also the way they maintained the rhythm of their interaction. It wasn't overdone, not contrived, but rather felt too natural to ignore. Every small movement felt like part of an unspoken yet understandable conversation. On the one hand, some viewers saw this as strong evidence of their profound acting skills. However, on the other hand, many felt that the intensity of the emotions radiated felt too honest to be merely a rehearsal. This debate only served to further fuel the discussion between the two. When further footage from the scene emerged, the public's focus shifted again to the details of their gazes. The way Zhang Linghe gazed at Tian Xiwei at such close range made many viewers feel drawn into the scene. The gaze wasn't simply following a script, but felt like it held an emotion that was hard to pin down. Tian Xiwei himself displayed subtle, yet meaningful expressions in the scene. There were moments when he seemed to hesitate for a split second before continuing his dialogue, as if he were holding back something deeper than just the role he was playing. This, in fact, lay the allure that kept viewers glued to their seats. Fan reactions grew wilder when behind-the-scenes footage began to circulate. There, the atmosphere seemed more relaxed, but this only fueled speculation. A small, unscripted smile, or a pause in conversation that felt too warm for mere colleagues, became the subject of endless interpretation. Some viewers even began reordering scenes to find a pattern in their interactions. Every detail is considered crucial, from their standing position, their gaze, to how they react when the camera stops rolling. It all becomes an emotional puzzle that they try to solve together. Amidst it all, one thing becomes clear. Their chemistry isn't just a visual effect or a director's cue. There's something about the way they interact that makes the audience feel emotionally connected, as if they're witnessing a relationship slowly growing before their eyes. The more clips circulated, the stronger the feeling that these moments couldn't have been completely staged. Even when the scenes became quieter, a lingering intensity lingered in the air, like an echo that hadn't yet dissipated. It's no wonder then that social media was filled with comments hailing them as an unforgettable on-screen couple. Not just because of their harmonious visuals, but because of the raw emotion that emanated from every small interaction. But beneath all the euphoria, there was a layer of professionalism that couldn't be ignored. Both were actors working with a clear script, direction, and character demands. And perhaps this is where the real magic lies, when controlled acting can feel so free and natural. Viewers began to realize that what they were seeing was a combination of hard work, understanding of character, and the ability to simultaneously tap into the same emotions. This made each scene feel emotionally charged, even if it seemed simple on the surface. At this point, the discussion was no longer just about the romantic scenes, but also about how such strong chemistry could be created on screen. Many have begun comparing them to other drama couples, but their names remain as one of the most attention-grabbing. Ultimately, it all comes down to one thing: a never-ending sense of curiosity. Every time a new clip appears, there's always a detail that makes viewers want to rewatch it, explore its meaning, or simply relive the same emotions. And perhaps that's why Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei's names continue to be a topic of endless discussion. Because between the script, the camera, and the studio lights, there's something alive, something that makes it difficult for viewers to distinguish between the story and the reality they're witnessing. In forums and comment sections, viewers are dissecting every frame as if they're reading a secret code. Some slow down the video to the slowest speed just to capture the slightest change in expression, while others compare this scene to previous scenes to find any emotional consistency that might be hidden behind their characters. The longer they observe, the more details become newly revealed. But what makes this situation even more intriguing is how the two remain calm amidst all the increasing attention. In several promotional clips, they maintained their professional roles with the same smiles as usual, as if there was no storm of speculation brewing off-screen. This calmness actually made some viewers even more curious, as there was no real certainty. Meanwhile, the production crew on set was caught on camera laughing after a scene had finished filming. This brief moment then became a topic of conversation, seemingly hinting that the atmosphere behind the scenes was indeed warmer than it appeared on screen. However, there was still no official statement to confirm anything, leaving the room for interpretation endlessly wide. Meanwhile, Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei's names continued to appear in various daily search trends. With each new clip released, the public reactions seemed to never wane. Even viewers who initially only glanced at the footage gradually became drawn in and began to notice small details they had previously overlooked. Ultimately, all of this once again demonstrated one simple yet powerful principle: how an on-screen interaction can transform into an emotional experience that transcends the script itself. Whether it's purely the result of incredibly deep acting or a combination of inexplicable chemistry, one thing is for sure: the audience has been drawn too deeply into the world they are witnessing, and that curiosity doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon.